Read this. Off you go.
Fortunately, there are some rules.
So pronunciation, the plural, possessives, and third person singular present. So think, the possessive with the apostrophe S or S apostrophe, third person singular, as in he walks or he loves, and the plurals, pronunciation rules. Normally there's no rules, but here we have them. So off you go. Think about your chunks, thinking about going down at ends of sentences. Teach this to me.
Fortunately, there are some rules which will help you. There may be exceptions to them, but as yet, I have not come across any as far as I can see.
Or, I have not come, you could say that, or with a contraction.
I've not come.
Or I haven't come.
I haven't come.
Yes, it's a little less posh and a bit more normal.
I haven't come.
Mm-hmm. So if it says in writing, I have not come, when you say it, you can say I haven't come. With a script, it will normally tell you. No, it will be written, I haven't come.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which?
I haven't
Which?
come across. Which is unusual for English pronunciation.
Which is unusual.
Which is unusual.
Okay, now what are we doing with this? Why? What's the rule?
Because it ends with an S and it ends with a consonant and it begins with a vowel.
And then the next one, it ends with a consonant, begins with a vowel. So you join these three words together, which is unusual.
Which is unusual.
Unless you want to stress, like Donald Trump, which is unusual, you would say, no. He always says every word. But normally he will say, which is unusual.
Which is unusual. Can you repeat?
Which is unusual.
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 Mm-hmm.
Which is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unusual. For English pronunciation.
For English.
For English pronunciation.
Because that's not, you don't join your words together, so it makes you sound like an English lesson. If you have an English teacher, then you sound like this now.
For English pronunciation. For English pronunciation.
So, before you start again, we have to read to the end of here. But before you start, I want you to think which words end in a consonant sound and which begin in a vowel sound. Okay?
Okay.
So this word here, for example, ends in an E, but it ends in a consonant sound, the R, you see? So before you say this, I want you to look at where all the words are that join together.
Okay. How did you say often? Often? Often?
Okay, so the correct way to say it would be often.
Often.
But in the casual English, we'll say often.
Often?
Yeah.
Often.
So you can say whichever you want, but you need to be aware of both choices.
Okay. Where there are often no rules at all.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are, they are rules. With so many exceptions, they are hardly real rules.
Okay. Where there are often no rules at all. And if there are, they're rules with so many exceptions, they're hardly really rules. Try that.
Where there are often no rules. Where there are often no rules at all. And if there are, they are rules.
Instead of they are, you say there.
They're rules. With so many exceptions, they're hardly real rules.
That's it. Not easy sentence, no?
No. Can I repeat that?
Yes, you can do whatever you want. You're the boss. You pay, you get what you want.
Where there are often no rules at all, and if there are, there are rules with...
I didn't really hear the inverted commas.
The what? The
I
what?
didn't hear the inverted commas, las comillas.
And if there are... That? No.
No, the inverted commas.
Because
it's not really a rule.
So... And if,
So if you're given the punctuation, I'm giving you the inverted commas. So I want to hear those inverted commas.
So... And if... Vale.
No,
and
vales. Yes, okay, cool,
yes,
whatever.
Okay. And if there are rules with so many exceptions, they're hardly real rules.
Okay. So, let's test you. So, we have... Read this.
Spanish people have serious problems pronouncing English plurals.
You split your chunk. Liaison.
Pronouncing English plurals.
Plurals.
Okay. Spanish people have serious problems pronouncing English plurals. And the S. And the S. And the S at the end of the words.
Mm-hmm.
Most Spanish people have problems with Z anyway. And none seem to know. When faced with a new word, whether the plural ending is pronounced as Z or
As is. With an extra syllable. So, you probably say S for everything. Because you're Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay? So you have three choices with the S at the end of words. We're talking about third person singular, he walks. We're talking about possessive, my dog's leg. And we're talking about... The other one is... Plurals.
Dogs. That is that
dogs,
a Z?
the two dogs.
Dogs.
Okay, so we're going to test
Dogs.
you. Here we have some S endings. I want you to clearly pronounce, exaggerate. Is it S, Z, or is it an extra syllable, as is? Then I'll teach you the rules. Just to see if you know it without knowing. Why?
Okay. Artists.
Which is an S.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Keys.
Which is?
A Z.
Correct.
Dishes.
Which is what?
An S. Dishes.
No, it's dishes with an extra syllable. Dish, one. Dishes.
Dishes.
Okay.
Marks.
Yes.
Mums.
Good. Yes.
Fish.
No.
Fishes.
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 Yes, the extra syllable.
Like the fishes eye?
Yes. Or the two... But the plural of fish is fish, so it doesn't really apply.
Okay. Plays.
Yes, which is what?
A Z.
Because if it's place with an S, it's a sitio.
Place. Yeah. Cooks.
Which is what?
An S.
Yes.
Fishes.
He fishes.
Fishes.
To go fishing, no?
To go fishing, yeah. Fishes.
Okay, so here we have the rules. Okay. So, an S is pronounced S at the end of the words after 5 sounds. Words which end in the T sound, including TE, TE, as in.
Mats.
So say these in plural.
Mats.
And?
Mates.
Yes. We're talking about the sound that it ends with, not the letter.
Okay.
Or the K sound. K, K, C, K, C. For example, give me the S endings.
Licks. Gogs.
Then the P sound. P, P, as in,
pops, popes.
yes. Or the F sound, including F, double F, GH, as in laugh or laugh,
Okay.
with the F sound.
Puff,
So we have,
luff,
so
puff.
but with the S,
buffs,
and,
luffs.
or in RP, laughs.
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 That's it.
Laughs.
This is the theta. This is the th sound, as in theta in Spanish. The TH, no vibration. So, here we have,
Baths.
or in RP, baths. For posh people, it's a bath. And for not posh people or people from the north of England, it's baths.
Baths. Or baths.
That which is more RP. So it's the TH sound with no vibration, but not the sound with vibration. So, for example, bathes is not this. This is a Z sound. Bathes.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's only the
bathe.
it's only the
Bathe.
th sound. So
The.
you have 5. T, K, P, F, th. T, K, P, F, th.
The.
You tell me the 5.
T, K, P, F, the.
Got it.
T, K, P.
Then, es or is extra syllable. No? 5 sounds. So it's by when the plural is formed by adding es or s when the word already has an e at the end to the words that end in. The s sound. Adding es, for example, s, double s, ks, or x with the ks sound, as in box. No? So, tell me these with the s endings.
Kisses. Boxes. Laces.
Yes. Then the ends in the Z sound by E adding ES. Z, 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 double Z, for example.
Buzzes.
And adding S for the ZE, as in?
Freezers. Bozes.
Boozes.
Boozes.
That means to drink alcohol. Boozes, alcohol.
Booze. Houses. House.
And houses.
Houses.
Yes.
House. 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 Houses.
House, plural, houses.
House. Houses.
Houses for the noun. But also the verb, to house the poor people, give them a house. The mayor houses the poor black people. Or poor white people. Houses, to give them houses. He houses them.
Okay. But house.
The plural of house in English is houses.
Okay, but house ends with an S or or a Z. House or house.
House
House.
ends in an S. This is a
In an
complicated
S.
one. But in the plural is houses.
Houses.
But it wouldn't matter
All right.
because if it ends in an S, we've got an extra syllable as is anyway. And if it ends in a Z, it's got an extra syllable. So it will be either, you see?
Okay.
But it's a bit complicated because, yes, it's house, then it's houses.
Like lace.
Laces.
Laces.
Yes. Okay. The sh sound as in shut up.
Shut up.
SH or CH with the sh sound. For example, give me the S endings.
Pushes.
Pushes.
Oh.
Push.
Pushes. Eyelashes. Trashes.
Okay. And adding S for foreign words, particularly from French, which end in CHE, as in
Roaches.
roches.
Rushes. Douches.
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 Yes. The ch sound, which is like champagne in Spanish. T, sh, ch. Adding ES, for example, CH or TCH. Say the words.
Lunches. Churches.
Churches.
Punches. Lobsters.
Latches.
Lodges. Gratches.
And the j sound, as in John. GE, for example.
Gauges.
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 Mm-hmm.
Gauges.
Gouges.
Why?
Ow.
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 Ow. Gouges. Georges.
Gorges.
Gorges.
Gauge. A gauge is the pressure gauge where you have the dial with the numbers, with the pressure.
Uh-huh.
Gouge is when you put the knife in somebody's eye and you take it out, like in Shakespeare. And gorge is when you eat a lot.
Uh-huh. Gauge. Gouge.
Gauges.
Gauges.
Gouges.
Gouges.
Gorges.
Gorges.
Managers.
Managers.
Carry on.
Messages. Pages. Larges.
That wouldn't exist, but it would be that. To large it, well, it would be. To large it means to act like you are cool, so it's not a normal word.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you have 5 for number 1 for the S sound. You have 5 for the extra syllable. So we have the second one is S, Z, sh, ch, j. S, Z, sh, ch, j. You tell me.
S, Z, sh, ch, j.
J, j.
J.
As in John.
J. And?
As in...
J.
as-
Ch.
S,
Ch.
Z.
J.
So you have S,
S,
Z,
Z,
sh,
ch,
z,
j.
j. That's it.
Yeah.
Then the easy one is Z is for everything else. So
Uh-huh.
most are Z.
Uh-huh.
Whereas, which one do you want to do because you're Spanish? S.
Yeah.
Because anything in Spanish is S. So you want to do S for everything. So, also note, you only have to remember these 10 sounds. And note, they're all consonants. So if a word ends in a vowel sound, how do you pronounce it in the plural? Everything else?
Z.
Everything else.
A Z.
Z. So you only have to remember for 5 consonants for the S and 5 consonants for the extra syllable as is. All the vowels and all of the consonants are Z.
Okay.
So I will give you this to learn at home.
Mm-hmm.
You can have this for whole life. And if you have a doubt, you can check this thing.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do a test. Book, books, because it ends in the K sound.
Mm-hmm.
Next one.
Chair. Chairs.
Why?
Because it's anything else.
Why?
It's not.
It's not the 10 exceptions, but also, what sound does chair end in?
Any.
Air,
Chair.
a vowel.
Yeah, a vowel.
And vowels, what happens with vowels?
They go followed by a Z.
Why?
The plural. Because they're not in the 10 exceptions.
They're only consonants. So this is a vowel sound, so you know
Vowel
easily
sound.
that it's going to be a Z.
Uh-huh.
Boss.
Bosses.
Yes. Why?
An S followed by ES.
Because we have S, Z, sh, ch, j.
Uh-huh.
And it ends in an S.
Plus ES. No?
Yeah, exactly. So boss, bosses.
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 Not bosses. No, it's bosses.
Bosses.
That's it.
Bosses.
Next one.
Birds.
Why?
Birds.
Ah,
Birds.
which one?
Birds. I don't know.
Which is what? Birds.
Birds.
Why?
A Z.
Why?
Birds.
Because it's not one of the 10.
It's not one of the 10.
The 5 and 5.
Okay.
It's easy.
It's not one of the 10. Blokies.
No,
Blokies.
no.
No. It's the key sound.
It's the K sound.
It's the
yeah?
K sound. Blokes.
Yes, blokes.
Yeah.
Let's just have
Blokes.
a look. So the S is TKP F the.
Mm-hmm.
Repeat that.
TKP
TKP F
TKPF.
Okay, or no?
TKPF.
That's
Okay.
it. So it's the K, it's the K
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah. Blokes.
Okay, last one.
Buzz. But
How do you pronounce the word?
Beer? Beer?
That's it.
Beers.
Why?
It's not on the 10.
And?
And it ends with a vowel.
Good. So
So we give the plural a Z.
yes, because it's everything else. And it's a vowel. So it's not in the 10
Beer.
and it's also a vowel, so it's got to be
Beer.
Z. Beers.
Beer. Beers.
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 Yes, it's a diphthong. Ear.
Yeah. Beers.
And bears, no, the wild bears
Bear.
is air, bears, and here's beers.
Beers.
Okay, you got it.
Okay.
So I will send you this, and you can study this in your house.
Okay.
But everything I give you is copyrighted by me, so it's for you, not for you to distribute to the whole of the rest, all of the other Spanish actors. See
Okay.
what I mean?
Don't worry.